So before adding any pattern, I ensure that I add some stitch markers. So this will help me to track it later. So what I usually do is I'll check for the pattern. This is the pattern which we will refer for this particular bandana. In just 1 minute, I'll mention it in the chat. Let's wait for everyone to join. So in the meantime, I'll just update in the chat. Okay. Okay, so I've just updated it that we will be crochet bandana. So I'll just keep the pattern also for reference. Okay, I'm setting everything while everyone join. So this is a pattern from Pinterest. So before we start, let's add the stitch marker. Okay, maybe this color will be fine. And usually where I add is, I'll go to this pattern and I'll check the number of grids that will be within the pattern. So here you can see that, hope it's visible, here you can see that this much is the area that will be covering in it. So these areas which is standing within the pattern, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 will be what I will mark here using the stitch marker. Hi everyone, welcome. So let me check also how many grids, that are meshes that I have. So total you can see that there need to be 31 boxes or squares. So I'll just check 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it is like 30 itself. So what I will check is this will be sufficient for me, 30. Okay, even though there is one extra square, we will see how it goes. Okay, but for a safer side, what I would recommend is we will add one more row, then start adding the pattern. Okay, so let's start. What I'm going to do is I've chained 4. Now I will use the hook to create the next row. Hi everyone. So we are learning how to add pattern into the filet crochet mesh. So I have these 4, then one increase is done. Now I am going to add another into this particular double crochet from the previous row. Then again I'm going to add another and continue adding. So this is double crochet chain 1 method. See that. Okay. So let's complete this row. Yeah, sorry. So we can start. So we can continue this row. So I'm going to add this row, then start adding the pattern. Okay, so this is our second live stream for today. Today morning we had a live podcast. And we launched, it was in Malayalam, and we launched the looped podcast series, and it's in process. So after a few hours you'll be able to see the video, that live stream, processed live stream. So what I'm doing right now, there is a knot here, so I'm ensuring that it is not sticking much. So you can see there is a little bit extra fiber that is popping out. Just cutting it, but ensuring that I am not cutting the knot, only that extra fiber that is sticking out. Cool. Yeah, that would be enough. Now we can chain 1, skip 1, then can do the double crochet. The hook I'm using is 4 mm. And today morning live stream I just shared regarding oops, look at this. This is something I dislike the most. I think it got tangled, so I need to just untangle it a little bit so I can continue crocheting. Done. Now, yeah, so today morning I just shared regarding that yarn that I ordered from 3 different sites. So from one site, all 3 sites I ordered on the same day itself, and one I received today. So that's this yarn. For the first time I'm buying this particular yarn, and you can see how thin it is, and comparatively it's like a thread. So there is difference, and I'm planning to make something once I receive all the orders from the other 2 stores that I've bought. Let's wait for that, and in the meantime we can just complete crocheting this. Let me check if I'm audible or not. I hope I'm audible. Let me check if I'm. Yes. So we are nearing to the end of the row. So once we end this row, we will count it, then add the stitch mark. In the previous live stream, I actually told about like 2 o'clock or something, but I was a little bit tired. That's the reason I'm live streaming right now for this session. We started it in the previous live stream, this particular project, and now I thought about a quick session where we can learn how to add patterns, because in the previous live streams also it reached a few rows, then it was shared in the live stream. So this is the first live stream where I'll guide you through how to start adding pattern. So you guys can get an idea regarding that. It's all the behind the scenes, and you can get some tips also. So before I start the next row, just once again counting and ensuring that I have the required number of rows. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Correct. So now we can start adding the pattern. So let's mark the stitches. Okay. So we need to mark it somewhere in the middle. What is a simple method is, let's see, this particular leaf is standing a little bit outside than all other pattern. So I'll check how many rows need to be excluded for open meshes. So 3, 4 will be here. 7 will be here. So on the right side, I will be having 7. Okay, right side 7, and here I will be having 4 rows left before I start adding the pattern. It doesn't matter much in the beginning, but it's always recommended to go that way, so you will have sufficient meshes on the side before that particular pattern becomes visible. It's simple. Now for the stitch markers, I'll count from 7. I'll count 7 stitches. So 7, I'll just mark it. But I'll mark it just below that, so when adding the next row, it won't be much difficult for me. Okay. Then the next stitch marker, I will add 4 here. Okay. Because I'm referring to this row, not this row, but I have added the stitch marker in between for me to crochet the next row. Now what we will do, we will count the number of rows. Only 4 rows are okay. So I just marked the stitch marker. Now for the starting pattern, to just get an idea, I have 4 closed meshes to be filled, right? What I will do, I'll count the number of stitches from here. So somewhere around 10 we have. I'll just mark that one also for me, for easy reference. So from here we have till 7. Now 8, 9, 10. So my pattern starts from here. So I've just marked that one also. And for the next couple of rows, we will stay within this particular pattern, meshes. I'll also mark this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I have from the left side. Oh, I don't have any small. No problem. I'll just add it from here. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just mark it also here. Just for reference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. Just tweaking it a little bit. Done. Now I have added the stitch markers. I have an idea. When I reach these particular stitch markers, I have to be a little bit careful and check and refer the pattern before I continue crocheting. So let's start adding the pattern. So when I reach here, I need to be a little bit careful. Let's add the increase. We'll add 1 double crochet in the same chain, chain 1, skipping 1 chain, and on the top of the double crochet from the previous row we will add that one, chain 1, and we will continue keeping the meshes open till we reach that pattern. So whichever way it is comfortable for you, follow that. But these are few tips you can use when doing the filet crochet. I'm getting another knot here. Quickly let me untangle it. So what's recommended is don't try to pull it too hard or pull it too tight. It will get more tighter only, no? So better take some time to untangle it, so it will be easy for you to keep crocheting. Otherwise more time you need to invest in untangling it. When you get some knots in between, take a moment, untangle it, continue crocheting. Yeah, so I'm just adding the open meshes. Okay, so you can see I'm nearing to the pattern. So you can see from here I want to start the pattern. So wait, let's check once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the pattern I want to start with. Okay. Now we will close that mesh. These 4 meshes we are going to start with. I'll choose this color. We're going to start with this particular row. Okay. So what I'll usually do is I'll just mark it like that. Maybe something. Okay, this is the row I'll be marking. I have to add 4. This is not what I usually use. Okay, this is my so to add, we will not chain 1. Instead, we will add a double crochet into this chain. So let's add a double crochet into that chain. Now 1 more double crochet in the top of this chain, and that way we can close that mesh. Now we need 3 more meshes. How we will do? We will add 1 stitch into this like that. Now 1 more we will add on the next one. We got another mesh closed. Okay. Now without chaining 1, you will repeat this for the next 2. So working into the chain can be a little bit challenging, but with practice it's possible. So yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, and the final mesh we need to close. Adding 1 stitch in between and another one on the next double crochet top. We got 5. So because we are using a little bit bigger size hook, it can see like this, that holes can be a little bit visible, but no problem. The end result will look totally fine. Okay, so now we closed 4 here. We will keep all other meshes open in this row, and when we reach the next row we need to be checking the pattern again. Okay, let's chain 1, skip 1, add 4. So after each row, ensure that you have the number of rows closed and also number of meshes open. Hey everyone, so we can just continue adding the open meshes. So I'm using center pull. In last live stream I was pulling from outside. This time I got the center pull. Just trying with different types of changing the ways. For some, who doesn't like changes, right? So sometimes I do the center pull, or sometimes I pull from the outside the yarn, and other times I make yarn cakes and use it for crocheting. It's way better than any skein. And along with this one I have bought one hank also, which I need to wind. I still have a couple of hangs in the yarn stash, waiting for turning into cakes when required only. So the reason there are hangs is that whenever you're requiring it for crocheting, only then we should be turning them into cakes. It is put into a very tight hang now. So when we are making the cake, it can be a little bit relaxed for the fiber part. Only when you need to start any project, you can make it into yarn cakes and start crocheting. Reaching the near to this last row, double crochet, chain 1, and into third one, 1, 2, 3, we will add another double crochet. Then again we will chain 1 to increase to the same chain, adding one more double crochet. So we got our four we have completed that row also. Now in the next row on the left I want to start adding the pattern, but no problem. What you can do is you can just keep this as a reference point as the right side, and whatever you will be adding to the left as the left side, and if required you can add some stitch markers for your reference, that you know that this is the left and right side. This is not a very much symmetrical pattern, as you can see, so it's better to be a little bit more careful when crocheting this particular pattern. Comparatively to the other pattern we did earlier, it was a symmetrical one, so either side, if it meets the requirement, it's totally fine. Okay, so this is the right side. This color represents the right side. When I'm turning my work, it will be on the left side. Okay, so let's do the turning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will increase it in that particular stitch itself. Then we will do a chain 1, skip 1, and then we can add a double crochet and repeat it this way. Let's check it. So this is the right side, so this will be the left side. Okay, now it can be that right side when we are crocheting this way, but keep in mind that this will be your left side when turned this way. Okay, so now we are reading the pattern from left to right. So what comes towards the left, we have marked that stitch here, this yellow color which you are seeing. From here the pattern starts. Okay, now let's chain one. So in the beginning, always try practicing symmetrical patterns. It's always helpful. Okay, now let's check it again. You can see that this square is skipped over here, so let's count it from that way because I am using 31 chain method. 7 we have, no, just ensure you have the same here also. So 1 increase, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we need to start adding the chain. Okay. So I'll just change this one to here. Let's add the closed mesh. How we will add it without chaining one? We will insert a double crochet into this chain in the middle, then without chaining one, we will add one more double crochet here. So that way we close that mesh. Likewise, how many we need? We need 5. So this side we did 4, this side we will be doing 5. The second one, now we are going to add the next mesh. So you have closed 1 mesh, 2 mesh, 3 mesh, 2 more to go. And the final mesh that we will be closing. And once we complete this 5 meshes, always check with that pattern, cross check that you are getting what is in the pattern. So in this row you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 closed, and here you can see 5. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we reach over here, we need to add the next closed stitches, which means check how many open squares we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more open squares. Then we will close 3 meshes or squares. So 5 closed, now 5 open. We will be keeping chain 1, skip 1, double crochet on the top, chain 1 and skip 1 and chain 1 and skip 1, and we do it like that way for 5. So 1, 2, 3, then 4 and 5. Then we will close how many squares? 3 squares. You can see that I am going to close 3 squares. So here we have 3 squares, 2 completed, 1 more we will have it. So this is the way we will be adding the pattern. Ensure that we use stitch markers when we are doing the pattern. It will help us a lot. So that's the first row of adding pattern. Now we will repeat that in the next sessions. Okay, I will reach like that way. So whichever pattern you're following, please do that using stitch markers and referring to the pattern, reading from right to left to right, or top to bottom, or bottom to top, whichever way you need. This chart is not correct, that's what I believe, but no problem. All I need is this pattern. So I want to count the number of squares that I need to leave on the sides and in between, and which are the squares to be filled. So that's what is the logic behind adding this pattern. And we only use one color in filet crocheting. A single color is used mainly because this pattern is visible based on the contrast between open meshes and closed meshes. And there are people who are adding colors and it will give a different look, but in general filet crocheting we just keep it this way only. By adding that pattern, it will become more visible within the open meshes. And a larger hook size will help us to get a drapey kind of project compared to the previous one which we did, which was a little bit rigid and it took a little bit longer time to complete. But this one we have reached it till I think only 3 to 4 rows I completed earlier, and in the previous live stream I did for few rows, and in this live stream I've added 2 more rows. So that way it is getting bigger. But what we need to do is we need to just ensure whatever we crocheting is correct after we complete that one row. Alright. Okay everyone, so this is a small session that was planned because already we had a session in the morning. It was a podcast session, Malayalam podcast session. So that's the reason I don't want anything to be longer during the evening. Just a quick sharing and a session number 1 where we learn filet crocheting and how to add pattern into that. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. If possible, we can connect tomorrow during this time or in the morning if possible. In the morning, we usually live stream at 11:30 to 12:30 or 1 o'clock. If not any live streams during that time, we will schedule it for the evening, which is during this 6:30, 7 o'clock time. All right. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. Happy crocheting.